What up, you amazing hackers? It's your boy, the humble hacker from Chi-Town, Shy Ronin, back with a new walkthrough series that I'm going to be doing here for bug bounty and web application hacking, and starting from the ground up. I kind of know a little bit about this stuff. I am still a little bit nervous to go after an actual target, trying to get my methodology narrowed down, but gotta start somewheres, right? So, for today, what I'm gonna be doing for about once or twice a week are releasing videos going over web vulnerabilities in sections. So I might do like a couple um, like a couple lessons on like one day and then a couple lessons on another day, stuff like that, to kind of switch up the game, going from OSCP related stuff and into web hacking, because I'm starting to get really interested in that. Now, for this first segment, what we're going to do and go over is information disclosure. Now, without having to read up all of this until we get to right her, I'm just going to give you an overall summary. For each of these modules, I'm going to have like an overall summary to get like a basic understanding, which is our foundation in knowing what these vulnerabilities are and what we're trying to accomplish. So, for this one, information disclosure, it's a way of getting the application to reveal information that is not supposed to, by way of force or stabbing with some truth serum. Anyway, moving on. So we can find data by finding either like robot.txt, which would have the paths that the whoever it is, the maintenance of this website does not want us to see. There's also unconventional inputs to trigger an error, custom headers, additional files like a sitemap XML, which also can reveal good information, stuff like that, and are qualified, depending on the program, as valid bugs. So let's get to it. Let's go with our first lab, which is, once I scroll down here, information disclosure and error messages. Let's go ahead and open this up right here. Messages. Never heard of that before. Waiting for this bad boy to load up here. Now, I purchased Burp Suite Professional. You can use this in community if you want, because we're not doing anything too fancy schmancy up in here. So, let's see. Go ahead and take this. Let's pick one of these here. So, basically what the situation is that we have our overall page, and we don't really need Burp. We really don't need it unless we just want to use it to kind of just show Burp off a little bit, because we're basically going to get the same response no matter what we do for information disclosure here. So here we have our page here. We picked an item. Looks like this is from, actually this is from a web store. We picked an item from the web store, and we see what the web store produces here. So this is not a part of what we need to be looking at, so no need to look at that. One thing that I love doing is viewing page source, just to see if there's any new endpoints, paths to images or different files or whatever that's in the page. JS files too. Those are always dope to try to find and look at, but I'm just doing that just it's out of instinct. So one way that we can trigger an error is actually a response. Is if we can trigger a response by following what the website will give us. We can trigger an error by giving it something that it's not supposed to receive. So here, you're supposed to receive numbers. What if we put letters in there? We just put the letter A. We get an error. Okay, we're not supposed to put that string in there. What's another way that we can generate an error? By simply placing in an apostrophe. Same thing here. So what this lab was saying was, using a third-party framework, submit the version number of the framework, and this is the framework. Apache Struts, version 2.3.3.2.3.1. There we go. Okay, got a little discombobulated there. All right, now here's a next one. So we're just going to do two. It's going to be little quick ones for information disclosure on a debug page. So let's see what this one wants us to do. This lab contains a debug page that discloses sensitive information about the application. To solve the lab, obtain the secret key from the environment variable. All right. So this is what this would mean. What other place can we get, our primary place that we can get sensitive information from, which is the exact same thing that I did from the first lab, which is view the page source. Because the source code can have a lot of juicy info in it, and if we're using Burp, we can use the find comments as well if we got one too many pages. But here we have, looks like a path. It says debug right there, right? This is a path that was hidden in the comments of this application here. And so this is the new path. But let me go ahead and remove this here from that. This is our PHP info page. And our PHP info page will have the data that we would need in here. So the information disclosure, submit the secret key environment variable. That's it. Secret key. I just did a regular find, and I was able to look that up there. Okay, now let's see the difference between manually looking at this and looking at this with Burp. So let's do this one here. Always set the proxy options for the and in target scope. Otherwise, it's going to pick up every damn thing, and we don't want that. All right, so we turn on this here. Proxy picks this up. Let's go ahead and forward it. It gets moved over to our list here. Now, I can right-click on this host, click on Engagement Tools, find comments, and this will find all the comments in the entire page, or list of hosts. I was going to say hopes and dreams, but here, as we see here, same thing that we got when we simply viewed the source code here. Only difference was it went through everything that it spidered in Burp Suite, pulled up everything that had a comment on it, and this is what it was found. This is what it found. There we go. So those are our first two examples of information disclosure. Again, we're gonna knock the other three out. Actually, we can do this one either together, or I can just figure that one out and just go ahead and do that later. So I might just do all three of these, since there are three more. So I'll just put all three of them on for our next video. Alrighty, so that was a quick rundown of information disclosure. I am Shy Ronin, and I am out.